Hey guys, it's Biggs. You wouldn't believe the amount of footage that I've shot while I've been down here in Florida. I've only been here for 1 week. I fly home today, but I thought I should start putting together some of the videos. I haven't a clue how to even sort through all this stuff, but the first one we're going to send you guys' way. I knew about this guy a while ago. I really had no idea what he was up to and how much he was up to it. And it's not really a strong point of something that I know a lot about. I've kept him, I've dabbled in him, but I'm definitely nowhere even remotely on the scale of what this guy is. This is the guy that booked me to come down and speak at his club, the Aquatic Club of Pasco County. It's just outside of Tampa. And the man in question, he's an absolute legend already at the age of 28. 28. This guy's already pretty much semi-retired, doing it himself, 100% self-made, breeding real world-renowned shrimp. This guy's regarded all over the world, is one of the top in the USA. All the people from Asia know him by his name. His name is Mr. Grant Eder, and he runs Garden of Eder. This guy's place is absolutely, it's gonna blow your mind. Stay tuned. Hey guys, it's Biggs. I'm down in Florida. I don't know where I am in Florida.
Hernando County.
Hernando County.
Right next to Wickiwachi Springs.
That's the mermaid thing.
Yes, it is.
Is that part and parcel why you're doing what you do?
I mean, when I was a kid, I was always at the springs. My mom would go, and I'd find myself a little bucket and pail and a net, and there's ghost shrimp in the little lagoon, and
Okay.
I'd be thrilled as could be every time I found them buried. And at
That's
the end
cool.
of the day, I'd fill the bucket back up with water, toss them all back in, and look for the next day so I could go catch them all back up again. So yeah, that's kind of where my addiction to invertebrates kind of took off. And then every time it rains, there's a local lake behind us. The crawfish will actually climb out of the water and walk through yards. And I had a buddy who we'd go and play Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and every time it rained, they'd wash up. And one time we found a white one, and it was like finding a rare gem. And yeah, no, it's always cool just taking the rowboat out there and catching them every now and then. So I've always been a fan of invertebrates and stuff like that. Also in Hawaii, I'd go there for summers and stuff like that, and my parents would go to the yacht club and be drinking at the bar and partying and whatnot after a good race and celebrating a win and whatnot. And, you know, bar scene wasn't really a scene for 12-year-olds, so I'd find a little bit of bubble gum and string, fishing line, and I'd go to the dock and I'd start catching crabs.
Yep.
And I'd catch a fiddler crab and I'd rip it in half and I'd tie that to another piece of string and I'd throw the fiddler crab out. And
The bigger crab?
No, I'd start catching the banded coral, the coral banded shrimps.
Oh, okay.
And
So if you guys don't know who this is, you might know him already, you may have taken a guess already, but I'm here for one very specific reason. And I flew down here to give a talk at his club, but the real reason I'm down here is to see this guy's setup. This guy's an absolute madman. He's perfect for the channel. This is the one and only. This is the shrimp master. This is Grant Eder. You guys know him now, don't you? You look at that mug, you know that guy. He's Captain Shrimp. Thanks for showing us around, buddy.
oh, thanks for having us.
All right, guys, you guys really have no idea. We came here right after the talk, and he brought us down the backyard. He says, go in the greenhouse. We started here, and we got to look at this. And we started this, and then we went in the house. We did the full kind of quick tour, and like, I'm still here sitting here in total shock. This is a super humble guy, and this guy's doing things that I can't even fathom. He's like a fish farm. It's insane what he does here. So Grant's going to give us a quick tour of his greenhouse. What do you do in your greenhouse, Grant?
So everything in here is all run on tap water. I only do the water changes in here about every 2 or 3 weeks. I will do a good 20 to 40% water change though.
What are we breeding in here?
Every vat in here has Neocaridina inside or outside. All the caridina are inside that need the special water. These guys are basically tanks. They can stand the temperatures in the 90s and all the way down in the 40s. And you know, with the Florida weather and everything like that, that could be one day to the next.
So these are all the bulletproof, like
Yeah.
the cherry shrimps and all those kind of staples in the industry.
Yeah, yes, sir. These are the bread and butter.
So you have one variety in here, right? Just one type?
One color for each pond, but they're all Neocaridina, but I've got almost every variety in here.
Every variety. I didn't know there was more than one variety.
So in this pond we've got the yellow. A lot of people with the racing stripe call them the 24 karat gold lines.
Oh, yeah, you can really see them there. Yep. Yeah, you turned off the air a little while ago and you dropped some food, because when you first look at them, you don't really see anything, but they're shrimp. They're little. And you need a lot of them before they're even going to show up on the thing.
All right. So these little smaller buckets I use for culls. I try to keep my population as high quality as I possibly can. So all the ugly ones will go into the buckets, and I'll generally sell those for cheaper, like a buck a piece, just for people getting started.
Yep.
This isn't full sun, but those are blue dreams in there. This is my only crossbreeding project still with Neocaridina. A lot of you know my purples. These are where those come from. It's Blue Dream and Bloody Mary cross, but I get a lot of wilds still. Not too many purples, but it's a work in progress. These are my orange rillies in here. Most of them are probably hanging out on the filter.
Oh yeah.
But didn't start this pond out with too much. All of these I try to start out with my own stock, unless it wasn't something I already had at the time. But everything I started with homebred from breeders that I trust, so I don't have to worry about any ELO or the diseases or anything like that. So I just have to worry about keeping the water clean and keeping them fed. And,
okay.
It's very, very simple and basic.
For Neos, they're pretty bulletproof, like I say. These are the easy ones for. This is where people should start out, especially if they have an area with harder water.
There's a couple tigers that are a little bit easier than these guys for people who keep them in aquariums, but for outdoors, withstanding this drastic temperature change and everything like that, Neocaridina is definitely the way to go.
Okay.
So I got green emeralds in here, and then these guys are the green jades. But you can see those guys.
Yeah. I have those at home. They don't look the best in a planted tank because they're dark green.
I've got snowballs in here, and then this pond is blue velvet. I've got my red cherries in there, oranges in the black barrel. Next is blue dreams. I've got my red cherries in this.
If only we could do things like this in Canada.
I've got my red cherry culls in here, my blue dream culls in here. These barrels are getting ready to be put in production. I just picked them up this week, so I'm going to drill holes in the airline and get this all up and running. And you got Shrimp in the background barking, making his own statements.
That's your dog's name, Shrimp.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not addicted at all.
And then these are all the chocolates in here.
That's an awful lot of shrimp. And I noticed outside you've got all these totes kind of piling up here.
Yeah.
What are you going to be doing with that? Just making more and more of these things?
So the goal is inside, I don't have to worry about the dragonfly larva. So the door always stays shut, and I don't have to worry about dragonflies getting in here, laying eggs. The larvae, they're super aggressive, and they
they're
eat
predators.
just about everything. I had one come in from some plants I took off the river. It lasted maybe 6 months before the egg hatched. And then one day I fed 200 orange shrimp in the tank and maybe 10 red tigers. And the next day I go feed the same tank and there's not a single orange shrimp in the tank. And I see the red tigers. I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
So I go and I poke around in the tank and I couldn't find anything except for a dragonfly dempsey and my red tigers. So
They're pretty predatory. They look like alien.
yeah, so the goal is, if you come out here, the IBC totes out here are all going to be left with the lids on. I'm going to drill a single hole here for the airline to fall in, and I'm just going to use traps to catch all the shrimp. That way they're all completely sealed off to the element, and I don't have to worry about mosquito larvae or anything like that.
Yeah, because as you've grown, you're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You need more and more production.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, the demand for pet stores contacting me all the time trying to get shrimp alone is just worth these vats here. So I'll probably do this whole run all red, and then I'll probably do all these and then another run down the side here with all blue.
Okay.
Because those are
That's the two number one,
Oh, yeah.
1 and 2.
And then I'll do yellow after that, and then more greens. But I want basically just enough room that if I had to, use a wheelbarrow to get rocks through or something like that, there's enough room that I can use a wheelbarrow back here, and that's about it.
You guys think that looks like, you didn't really see a lot of the shrimp up close and personal in this video, but we're going to go inside And if you guys think that this is crazy that he's got a greenhouse in his back and all these totes and all these things he's doing next, he's not joking. Your whole project of everything that you've done, everything that you've accomplished up until now has been in under 5 years, correct?
So like 5.5.
Yeah.
I started in November, roughly 5 years ago.
And in 5 years, in the shrimp world, you're not just an average keeper anymore. You've entered shows and everything like that.
Yeah, so like first 2 years into the hobby, I had the largest variety, and so when they came out with the first contest for the International USA at AE, I was asked to be one of the judges because there's really nobody in the United States at the time that had the equivalent to what I had. So yeah, no, I definitely made a statement really quick in the game.
Yeah. And you keep making statements every single day.
Yes, sir.
Hey guys, we're gonna go inside and take a look. You'll have no idea what this guy's doing inside. All right, guys, we've just come in literally in the front door right here. As soon as you walk into the front door of his living room, you're caught with this. So this is their living room. Shelby has allowed him. I don't know if she's allowed or encouraged. I'm not really sure what the right word is, but they literally have tanks everywhere. And they told me that spot back there on the counter, the spots here on the counter, the spot here on the counter here, and a spot here on the counter normally has tanks on it as well, but they are at a state fair.
Yeah, very beautiful contest.
Tanks go down every possible area you can imagine. This used to be the single car garage, and down there on the far right, that is one of their children's bedrooms, and he loves the shrimp as well, so there's going to be fish in there. And that door over there is actually the master bedroom. What spouse would not want to have multiple fish tanks in their room? In part 2 of this video, Grant will give us a full tour of all his amazing shrimp. Not only does he do all the Neocaridinas outside and the Caridinas inside, but he's also got some pretty special other species in the house as well. So I hope you'll join us for part 2. That's when we're going to see all the extremely sexy shrimp at the Garden of Eder.